Every year, I decorate our front yard for Halloween and fall. I deck out the front porch with colorful lights, string ribbon along the fence, and set up novelty signs and props. I station pumpkins all around the yard, some decorated, some not, and hang ears of multicolored corn at intervals along the fence. Pumpkins and corn are food, of course, and attractive to wildlife. During prior years, though, animals mostly left these items alone until we were finished with them for the season. This past October, though, that all changed. One day, I picked up 24 ears of corn at the farmer's market, and I tied them up all along the fence like I usually do. But late that night, a neighbor walking by noticed a deer treating my decorations like her own personal snack bar. The damage was immediately noticeable. Then the doe tried to hide. "Hey, look, I'm a kangaroo statue too." And don't think we don't see your friend in the background there too. Yeah, we still see you. Deer continued to visit over the following nights. There was nothing we could really do. In less than a week, all of our corn was destroyed. I'm not sure if the squirrels helped the deer skeletonize the corn. In any case, they were more interested in the pumpkins. They didn't just gnaw on the rind either. They dug right into them to get at the pulp and seeds. I've heard speculation that drought conditions have driven wild animals to attack pumpkins and other fruit just to get at the water. That's probably why my vegetable garden was such a failure this year. Even though I filled up bowls of water just for wildlife and installed a new bird bath, the animals got almost all my tomatoes. I was able to salvage a few pumpkins for Halloween, just barely. I think the deer helped the squirrels with their carving endeavors. Here's some video from last year showing deer slurping up the pulp from discarded pumpkins. Now, I can forgive the animals for destroying my organic decorations, I guess, in spite of my frustration. They don't know any better. A few days before Halloween, though, a very different creature went after my decorations. Longtime viewers may remember Stella Starlingbane, a crow decoy I bought 2 years ago to discourage starlings from ransacking my crow feeders. She came with a mate, Standby Starlingbane, or Stanley for short, who hasn't seen much action. Anyway, to decorate for Halloween, I ordered 2 more decoys and fitted all 4 of them with little witch hats for outdoor display. I attached one of the new crows to a gap in the fence. The other one I staked in the ground under a tree, well inside the fence. One morning, my husband asked me if I'd taken any of the decoys inside the night before to protect them from windy conditions. I hadn't. Someone had stolen 2 of the crows overnight. The petty theft was annoying, and more than a little demoralizing. But I just ordered 2 more decoys and reconsidered my decorating strategy. We didn't feel threatened or anything. At least, not yet. A couple of nights later, a set of net lights disappeared from a bush right in front of our porch. We didn't realize this until about 36 hours later, when I noticed some of the lights on the front porch weren't coming on. Whoever removed the missing net lights had unplugged them in 2 places. I got a little paranoid, wondering why someone would target us for these thefts, not to mention stealing something just a few feet from our front door. The Ring camera captured nothing. My husband told me to go ahead and report the thefts to the local police. But there's a twist to this story. A couple of nights later, we saw some deer in the yard. We had started collecting damaged pumpkins and stashing them near the bushes where they'd be less visible. Now the deer were coming over and nibbling at them. And that's when we remembered. At the time the lights disappeared, one such pumpkin was underneath the bush that they were on. This is a recreation of the scene using the raccoon pumpkin. I had recently seen this hysterical trail cam footage on Reddit, and with that in mind, we solved the crime. A buck had bent down to gnaw on the pumpkin and caught his antlers in the net lights. They were entangled to such a degree that he was able to unplug them from the adjacent lights and run off with them. The next day, I posted about this to a local message board. To my amazement, a nearby resident had posted this photo the same day. This deer in headlights was photographed barely a mile from my home. You know what the kicker is, though? Those aren't our lights. So it would seem that getting caught in seasonal decorations is a hazard of life as an adult male deer in such an urban area. I guess the moral of the story is, the buck stops here? I'm so sorry. One last update. After I'd already finished drafting the script, someone posted this photo to the same local message board. This was taken much closer to our home, just a couple of streets down. While it's hard to be sure, I think that these are in fact our net lights. At the time this photo was taken, he'd been wearing them for about 10 days. The buck may have shaken the lights off by now. I hope he has. But in the meantime, I'm monitoring the front yard feeder to see if I can catch him on camera. So far, no luck. The most interesting footage I have so far is of 2 teenagers necking. Other people who've seen this clip think that these are siblings playing. So this past Halloween season, we did have a couple of minor scares and plenty of frustration. But it ended on a high note, with nearly 150 trick-or-treaters visiting our home and enjoying the surviving decorations. I hope you had a very happy Halloween. And as always, everyone, thank you for wild watching.